Fast and Loud is no more. I have exited Discovery, and I'm a free agent.
What?
We're going to be doing some cool things in 2021, and it just was a perfect storm, so to speak. It was time for me to expand and grow a little bit, and I've kind of gotten to the top of that mountain.
We learned the startling reasons why Fast and Loud was yanked off the air. This show wasn't ordinary. It transformed dusty, neglected cars into dazzling masterpieces, capturing the hearts of auto enthusiasts around the globe. Yet despite its massive appeal, it vanished in an instant. What could possibly cause such a beloved series to come to a sudden halt? Before we dive in, the truth is more shocking than you think, and it's going to surprise you. Disappearing acts. We've all had that one TV show we can't wait to watch. Then out of nowhere, it's gone. No explanation, just an empty space where your favorite show used to be. This happens more often than you might think, but usually we don't know why. In the case of Fast and Loud, fans were left wondering if something bigger was going on behind the scenes. Could there have been some hidden reason for the show's unexpected end? Stay tuned, we'll soon reveal the surprising secret behind why Fast and Loud suddenly stopped. Fast and Loud wasn't just another TV show about cars. It inspired people who love vintage cars and saw beauty in what others might consider junk. The show had a special place in the hearts of viewers by showing how even the rustiest, most forgotten cars could be transformed into something amazing. Then just like that, it was over, leaving fans feeling like they had been part of a bad car accident, with nothing left but wreckage. The sudden end of the show made many viewers feel disappointed and curious about what went wrong. A big reason people loved Fast and Loud was Richard Rawlings. He was the heart of the show, with a personality so lively and charismatic that he could probably convince anyone to buy anything. Richard grew up in Fort Worth, Texas, and got into cars at an early age, helping his dad with car projects when he was only 14. Although he first went into the printing business, his love for cars never faded. In 2002, he sold his printing company and started Gas Monkey Garage in Dallas. This bold move eventually caught the attention of the Discovery Channel, turning him into a TV star. Richard's success wasn't just because he was good at business, it was his genuine love for cars that made him stand out. His garage wasn't just a place to fix cars, it became a hub for bringing old vehicles back to life. Richard didn't just repair these cars, he turned them into highly desirable collectibles, restoring forgotten classics and cementing his reputation as one of the best in the business. But this wasn't the whole story. Richard's personal car collection, featuring rare beauties like the 1968 Shelby Mustang and the 1977 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am, proved that he wasn't just playing around on TV. He had the skills and passion to take these cars beyond their original condition, adding modern touches that made them even more valuable to collectors. His love for cars wasn't just a job, it was something he lived and breathed. Richard's talents didn't stop at car restoration, though. His business smarts helped him sell 28 of his beautifully restored cars, raking in over $10 million. This wasn't just a TV personality playing the part. Richard was a real-deal entrepreneur with the results to prove it. Fast and Loud wasn't just a show, it was a celebration of the art of car restoration and a movement that brought car lovers together. But even with all this success, the sudden end of Fast and Loud left a hole. It wasn't just a TV show that ended, it felt like the end of an era. Richard had become the face of car restoration for so many people. And even though he's working on new projects, trying to keep the excitement alive, Gas Monkey Garage isn't the bustling place it once was. The engines that used to roar there are a little quieter now, and TV just doesn't feel the same without those high-energy scenes of cars being brought back to life. At Gas Monkey Garage, Richard Rawlings was deeply involved in every step of restoring old cars. He wasn't just sitting back and giving orders, you could often find him working right alongside his team, getting his hands dirty. This hands-on approach was key to the success of the show. For him, car restoration wasn't just a way to make money, it was an art form. He showed real passion for the process, and it wasn't just about cars either. Rawlings also expanded his influence into the world of motorcycle racing by sponsoring Peter Hickman, a famous racer. This move helped him gain even more recognition in the automotive world, but it was just one part of what made Fast and Loud a hit. From the beginning, the iconic show seemed destined for success. Discovery Channel producers noticed the buzz around Rawlings' garage and saw the potential for a great TV show. They liked how he transformed old cars into beautiful machines, something not many people could do so well. Even though his garage wasn't making much money at first, the quality of his work was undeniable, and that earned him a spot on television. He jumped at the opportunity and it paid off. The show not only highlighted his skill at restoring cars, but also gave his business the exposure it needed to grow. At first, Rawlings wasn't sure if the show would stand out in a crowded field of reality TV, but any doubts quickly disappeared after the first season aired. Fast and Loud pulled in a big audience, and people loved watching the team work on cars, solve problems, and sell the restored vehicles for a profit. The mix of team chemistry, hard work, and excitement kept viewers coming back for more. Fast and Loud became more than just a show about fixing cars. It became a major influence on car enthusiasts everywhere. The series wasn't just about repairs, it was about the pressure of working under tight deadlines and the thrill of turning a profit. Each episode wasn't just about fixing a car, it was about taking risks, hoping that the effort would pay off. The challenges the team faced made the show exciting, and viewers didn't just watch for the cars, they watched for the drama and the stakes involved in each project. But the real excitement didn't just come from the cars. The show touched on deeper emotions, like the connection between Rawlings and his father, who had played a role in shaping his passion for cars. This part of the story hadn't been told much before, and it added a personal touch to the show. Fast and Loud was more than just entertainment. It introduced people to the fascinating world of car restoration, a niche hobby that most people didn't know much about. The combination of friendly conversations, exciting car transformations, and clever promotion helped the show become a global hit, drawing in viewers from all over. By its fourth season, Fast and Loud had figured out the perfect mix for TV success. The cast changes, the dramatic deadlines, and the risks involved in each project made the show feel fresh and exciting with each episode. The pressure of getting the cars ready on time, not knowing if they would sell for a profit, added suspense that kept millions of viewers glued to their screens. Rawlings often took big chances, and the outcomes were unpredictable, making the stakes even higher for the team. But the excitement couldn't last forever. After a few years, Fast and Loud started to face some difficulties. As key cast members began leaving, rumors of behind-the-scenes issues started swirling. Fans noticed that the show was repeating storylines, and the conflicts between the teams started to feel staged. This caused some viewers to wonder if the show was losing its original charm. Even though Fast and Loud still had strong viewership, the producers decided to end the series. The decision surprised many fans who thought the show had more to give. But that wasn't the worst part. What really stung was the sudden silence. Despite having a dedicated audience and the resources to continue for more seasons, the producers decided to close the chapter on Fast and Loud. Richard Rawlings played a big role in this decision, signaling the end of an era for car enthusiasts who had followed the show from the start. As we explore why Fast and Loud ended, we'll see what drove Richard Rawlings to leave and how he aimed for new beginnings. The final lap. When Richard Rawlings decided to leave Fast and Loud, it was a big surprise for many fans. The show had been loved by car enthusiasts and viewers alike, and its sudden end left people confused and disappointed. Fans were left asking, why did such a popular show stop so abruptly? As time passed, it became clear that Rawlings was feeling stuck creatively. When the show first started, he was full of excitement and ideas. But as time went on, he started to feel trapped, like he couldn't explore new projects or grow in different directions. He felt restricted and wasn't able to fully express himself or take on new challenges, which led to a lot of frustration for him. One of the reasons for this frustration was his strict contract with the Discovery Channel. It prevented him from speaking out about his dissatisfaction with the network. If he did, there would be serious penalties. So, when people asked him why Fast and Loud was ending, his answers were always a bit vague. He would say that ending the show was the right decision, but many believed there were deeper reasons behind his choice, including disagreements with producers and the departure of important team members. But this wasn't the only reason. Rawlings' decision to leave wasn't made overnight. He carefully planned his exit to protect his personal brand and to focus on new opportunities, like building his presence on social media. On platforms like YouTube, he could be more open and creative without worrying about network contracts. Behind the scenes, there were often tensions among the team. The strong personalities of the crew didn't always get along, which led to friction and some members eventually leaving. But this wasn't the worst part. The sudden end of the show didn't just affect the team, it left the entire automotive community feeling shocked and nostalgic. When Tom Smith and Jordan Butler, two well-liked members of the team, left the show, fans were confused and curious. These two were known for their expertise, and their sudden exits fueled a lot of speculation. Later, it was revealed that Rawlings had fired them, but the lack of clear explanations only made the rumors grow. The final episode of Fast and Loud wasn't just the end of a TV show, it showed how hard it can be to keep a show going when personal and professional problems start to pile up. Rawlings has since moved on to focus on his YouTube channel and is still working on transforming cars. But for fans, the story of Fast and Loud, its rise, struggles, and ultimate end remains a fascinating journey. As Rawlings moved from traditional TV to digital platforms, it marked a new chapter for him. He was now free from the restrictions of TV contracts and ready to push his creativity in new ways. At the same time, the drama and changes at Gas Monkey Garage revealed just how much tension had built up over the years. One particular incident involving Tom Smith shed some light on this. Smith was fired after he allowed a fan with cystic fibrosis to take photos with a custom car in the garage, even though his managers had told him not to. This was a kind gesture on Smith's part, but it led to both him and Butler being fired. When this news came out, it didn't reflect well on Rawlings. People started to view him as uncaring toward his fans, especially during a time when public figures were being closely watched and criticized. This backlash hurt the show's reputation and might have contributed to the decision to end Fast and Loud. But the story didn't stop there. Jesse James, known for his show Monster Garage, joined Fast and Loud, and fans were excited to see these two big names in car restoration working together. At first, their partnership brought a lot of attention to the show, but things quickly went south when Rawlings publicly criticized James. In response, James dumped a large pile of horse manure in front of Gas Monkey Garage, a prank that was caught on camera and spread widely. While it was meant to be funny, it backfired. Many people found the stunt childish and over the top, which damaged James's reputation and disappointed fans who had respected him. After the Firebird incident, we'll look at how staged drama began to overshadow the show's real moments, changing how viewers saw it. The elusive prototypes. In the fourth season of Fast and Loud, an episode revealed what were claimed to be original Pontiac Firebird prototypes, each said to be worth around $325,000 found in an old barn. This discovery grabbed the attention of car enthusiasts and regular viewers alike. The idea of finding such rare cars was exciting, especially for fans of Pontiac. However, the truth behind the story wasn't as impressive as it seemed. It was later discovered that these cars were actually early production models, not the incredibly valuable prototypes they were made out to be on the show. Things got more complicated when the same cars appeared on eBay, but this time each was listed for only $30,000. This was a huge difference from the high price mentioned in the episode. Fans who had been drawn in by the big reveal felt let down. The incident sparked debates about how real the show was, with many viewers starting to question the show's honesty and whether some parts were exaggerated for entertainment. Richard Rawlings, the main figure of the show, was known for his decisive leadership. But as time went on, it became clear that some of his decisions were impulsive and not well thought out. This was especially true when it came to choosing which cars to restore. He often picked cars that were in much worse shape than they appeared. Many times, these cars were mostly rust, with very little salvageable material. Viewers began to wonder why he kept putting so much money into these hopeless projects. It started to seem like a waste of resources. But this wasn't the worst part. As the show went on, these questionable choices contributed to its gradual decline. Rawlings' confidence in his skills sometimes got the best of him. He would take on ambitious modifications, replacing parts with what he thought were better options. Unfortunately, these changes often led to more problems. What should have been simple fixes turned into expensive, time-consuming repairs. These constant setbacks started to affect the show's overall quality and probably played a role in Rawlings deciding to step away from it. The turning point for many fans came during an episode where Rawlings and his team were supposed to build a replica of the famous car from Knight Rider as a birthday gift for a friend. Despite having a big budget, the episode left fans disappointed. It felt too scripted, with less focus on the car build and more on Rawlings traveling around Europe. For many viewers, this episode marked the moment when the show shifted from being about real car restoration to being more about drama and unnecessary storylines. Fans who loved the early days of Fast and Loud felt like the show had lost its way. As Fast and Loud continued, it became more about staged drama and less about the passion for cars that made it popular in the first place. The change in focus didn't sit well with many fans, who began to lose interest. By the time the show ended, it wasn't much of a surprise to those who had been following it closely. The final episodes felt like the natural end of a show that had slowly moved away from what made it great. But this wasn't the end of the story. Even though the show is over, the people involved have moved on to new things. Richard Rawlings is doing well. He's using his extra time to grow his garage business, add to his car collection, and connect with fans on YouTube and Instagram. He's still in the business of buying and selling restored cars and seems to be enjoying his new projects. Another important character from the show is Sue, also known as Ulan Heo. Her story is just as remarkable. She came to the United States in 1984 and eventually took over a struggling upholstery shop in Dallas. Through hard work, she turned it into a successful business. Her shop, ASM, became a symbol of her dedication and the American dream. Richard saw the potential in Sue early on. Since he owned the building where her shop was located, he decided to collaborate with her. He started by giving her simple tasks, but it quickly became clear that she was very talented. Over time, their partnership became an important part of the show. Sue's ability to handle tough customers, including Richard, made her a fan favorite. She even gave Richard's garage a funny nickname, Ass Monkey Garage, which stuck. Her wit and hard work won over the audience. But as she appeared less and less on the show, fans began to wonder if something was wrong between her and Richard. Rumors began to spread. Some said Sue was being given smaller, less important jobs that didn't show off her real skills. She wanted to focus more on restoring hot rods, but the show didn't always allow her to do what she loved. Richard's tight deadlines often made it hard for her to keep up with both her business and the show's demands. But this wasn't the worst part. Things got more complicated when Sue appeared on the spin-off show Misfit Garage. Fans began to speculate that she might be looking for new opportunities away from Fast and Loud. Some wondered if Richard was trying to replace her with someone cheaper or more skilled. This raised more questions about the show's portrayal of Sue's abilities and her future with Gas Monkey Garage. While the exact reasons for Sue's reduced role are unclear, it's likely that the shift in focus at Gas Monkey Garage from car restoration to showroom sales created tension. This might have played a big role in ending their collaboration. In the end, Fast and Loud left a lasting mark on car culture. Gas Monkey Garage became a household name thanks to the show, which remained popular for nearly 10 years. However, the sudden end left fans debating whether it was due to falling interest or deeper issues behind the scenes. Whatever the reason, the show's legacy remains strong, especially in the hearts of car enthusiasts. Thanks for tuning in. Do you think Sue was unfairly sidelined, and if so, why? Leave your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to subscribe for more insights.